In this video, we will connect a Postgres database running inside a Docker container to a Java Spring Boot application. We need to have the Java SDK installed. Head over to oracle.com. The link to the Java installer can be found on the link in the description. Next, we need to install pgadmin. Pgadmin allows us to visualize the data inside of our database. The link to pgadmin can be found in the description below. Next, we need to have Docker running on our machine. The best software to use is Docker Desktop. Docker Desktop is a graphical user interface that allows us to interact with the containers which are running. Once we have Docker running, we can run the following command. This command allows us to spin up a Docker container that runs a Postgres database named some Postgres running on port 5432. Head over to Docker Desktop. Here, we will see our Docker container named some Postgres running on port 5432. We can also see the image pulled from the Docker registry. Once you have confirmed that the Postgres database is running inside Docker, head over to pgadmin. First, we need to register our Postgres database under server. We need to use localhost as the hostname. Then, we need to specify the port of our Postgres database. The password to access the database is my secret password. Once all the values have been filled, next, we need to create a country table as well as the data to be stored in the table. This script allows us to create a table and the underlying script creates the data inside the country table. Once the script runs, we can see that the country table is created. Now that our database and table as well as table data has been created, we can move on to create our Spring Boot application. Head over to start.spring.io. This website allows us to generate Java Spring Boot boilerplate code. We then need to add the following dependencies on the right-hand side: Spring Web, Data.jpa, Postgres driver. Head over to the application.properties file under Resources. Add the following properties in the file. This properties will configure our Spring Boot application to connect to the Postgres database running in Docker. Next, we need to map our Java class entity with the table in our database. We need to add the entity and table annotation to the class. In addition, we need to add the id annotation. Next, we need to add the repository class which will act as an intermediary to access the entity class. Next, we need to add a service class named country service. We can think of this service as a tool that encapsulates all the business functionality needed by our users without exposing how it works. Next, we need to create a country service implementation that implements the country service interface. In this class, we are forced to provide some functionality which the country service interface needs. In this scenario, we will only provide the find all functionality. This function will allow us to return all the data stored in the country table. Finally, we can create our REST controller class. This class allows us to provide RESTful information about our API. Now, head over to your browser and type in the following URL. We should access our Spring Boot application and see the response provided by the application. We have created a Spring Boot application that accesses the data stored in Postgres database running inside a Docker container. There is more that we can do with the database, such as create more countries, update more countries, as well as delete countries. However, these are beyond the scope of this video. So I suggest you take some time on your own to create these functionalities on your own. Well done on making it through to the end of this video. Dear coders, remember, the world of programming is not just about algorithms and data structures. It's a playground of the mind, where creativity and logic join forces to create the incredible. It's not always easy, in fact, it often isn't. But it's in the challenge that we find the true thrill of coding. So, whether you're dealing with a stubborn bug or a difficult concept, don't give up. Every error message, every unexpected output, is not a roadblock but a teacher. It's a nudge towards a solution that you've not yet discovered. A code that doesn't work as expected isn't a failure. It's an invitation to learn and to improve. In those late-night coding sessions when the code seems cryptic, remember why you started. Remember the magic you felt when you first made a computer do your bidding, with nothing but your mind and your fingers. That magic is what makes you a coder. So, keep coding, keep learning, keep innovating. In this ever-evolving field, every day offers a new opportunity to make a difference. No matter how big or small, your contribution counts. Remember, you are the architects of the future, the creators in a digital world. So here's to all the coders, may your ideas continue to transform the world. Until next time, keep your spirits high and your code clean. Keep challenging yourselves and never